Today, I'd like to show you an experiment which I just conducted last Sunday with Apeuni speaking mock test. And in this experiment, you are going to see how I perform in each task, in each question in speaking module. And then I'm going to show you the templates that I use for describe image task and Retell lecture. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the result, my score report. And then we are going to discuss, I'm going to share the final tips and tricks for each questions in speaking module so that you can get the ideas and then you can implement it when you prepare for your exam. And after watching this video, I hope that you're gonna get the clear picture of how you are going to deal with PTE academic exam, especially for speaking section. So let's go. The gray wolf is an extremely adaptable species and is one of those animal species that survived the last ice age. The gray wolf physical characteristics enable it to adapt quickly to the harsh conditions of the ice age, and its cunning and adaptation helped it survive in the changing environment. The gray wolf is an extremely adaptable species and is one of those animal species that survived the last ice age. The gray wolf physical characteristics enabled it to adapt quickly to the harsh conditions of the ice age, and its cunning and adaptation helped it survive in the changing environment. Yellowstone was initially made famous due to its unique geology caused by its location on the North American plate, which for millions of years has slowly moved across a mantle hotspot via plate tectonics. The Yellowstone caldera is a volcanic system, volcanic, the largest in North America, which has formed as a result of this hotspot and subsequent large volcanic eruptions. Yellowstone was initially made famous due to its unique geology caused by its location on the North American plate, which for millions of years has slowly moved across a mantle hotspot via plate tectonics. The Yellowstone caldera is a volcanic system, the largest in North America, which has formed as a result of this hotspot and subsequent large volcanic eruptions. Because Mandarin is the most commonly spoken dialect, many people use the word Chinese to refer to it. While roughly 70% of the country speaks Mandarin, many other dialects are spoken as well. The languages are mutually intelligible to a varying degree, depending on how close the languages are to one another. Because Mandarin is the most commonly spoken dialect, many people use the word Chinese to refer to it. While roughly 70% of the country speaks Mandarin, many other dialects are spoken as well. The languages are mutually intelligible to a varying degree, depending on how close the languages are to one another. People who want to become astronauts must be in top physical condition. Each country's space program has health requirements for its space travelers. They usually assess a candidate's fitness to withstand some pretty tough conditions. For example, a good candidate must have the ability to endure the rigors of liftoff and to function in weightlessness. People who want to become astronauts must be in top physical condition. Each country's space program has health requirements for its space travelers. They usually assess a candidate's fitness to withstand some pretty tough conditions. For example, a good candidate must have the ability to endure the rigors of liftoff and to function in weightlessness. As far as we know, nothing can move faster than light. According to Einstein's theories on relativity, it takes an infinite amount of energy to accelerate an object with mass up to the speed of light. As a result, it would appear that having a spacecraft traveling at or exceeding the speed of light is simply impossible. As far as we know, nothing can move faster than light. According to Einstein's theories on relativity, it takes an infinite amount of energy to accelerate an object with mass up to the speed of light. As a result, it would appear that having a spacecraft traveling at or exceeding the speed of light is simply impossible. Concentration is an expression of how much solute is dissolved in a solvent in a chemical solution. There are multiple units of concentration. Which unit you use depends on how you intend to use the chemical solution. The most common units are mass percent, volume percent, and mole fraction. Mole fraction. Concentration is an expression of how much solute is dissolved in a solvent in a chemical solution. There are multiple units of concentration. Which unit you use depends on how you intend to use the chemical solution. The most common units are mass percent, volume percent, and mole fraction. An archaic name is an older name for a chemical that predates the modern naming conventions. It's helpful to know archaic names of chemicals because older texts may refer to chemicals by these names. Some chemicals are sold under archaic names or may be found in storage labeled with the older names. An archaic name is an older name for a chemical that predates the modern naming conventions. It's helpful to know archaic names of chemicals because older texts may refer to chemicals by these names. Some chemicals are sold under archaic names or may be found in storage labeled with the older names.
Children enjoy a healthy lifestyle when they live in a healthy family.
Children enjoy healthy lifestyle when they live healthy family.
Researchers have observed that family plays a crucial role in the success of individuals.
Researchers observed family plays a crucial role in success of individuals.
The patients were observed over a period of several months.
The patients observed over a period of several months.
A moderate earthquake struck the United States early on Saturday.
A moderate earthquake struck United States early Saturday.
Have you talked to your parents about the problems you're having?
Have you talked to your parents about the problem you're having?
The job encompasses a wide range of responsibilities, so it is very challenging.
The job got a wide range of responsibilities, so it is very challenging.
Regular servicing can guarantee the smooth operation of the engine.
Regular servicing can guarantee the smooth operation of the engine.
He studies and observes the behavior of babies and has written many articles about it.
He studies, observes behavior of babies, written many articles about it.
The tension between the two countries is likely to remain.
The tensions between the two countries is likely to remain.
You have to be able to describe things in a form that users can understand.
You have to be able to describe things in a form that users can understand.
The interview only took 10 minutes, but it felt like hours.
The interview only took 10 minutes, but it felt like hours. UK organic livestock number. UK organic livestock numbers. 1,000 head, cattle, pigs, poultry, sheep, year. The given image gives information about UK organic livestock numbers. It is a very beautiful image and I have to speak for 40 seconds about this image. There are different elements in the image which are 1,000 head, cattle, pigs, poultry, sheep, and year. 500, 1,000, 1,500, 3,000, and 4,000. And year 2011, 2012, 2015, 2017, 2019, 2020. One of the element is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative. Total internet users worldwide statistic. 5.25 billion people use the internet worldwide. 66.2%. And then the continents North America, Latin America, Caribbean, Africa, Middle East, Europe, Asia, Australia. Numbers are estimates. The given image gives information about total internet users worldwide. Statistic: 5.25 billion people use the internet worldwide. There are different elements in the image, which are the global population 66.2%, 66.2%, the continent North America, Latin America, Caribbean, Africa, Europe, Middle East, Australia, and Asia. The numbers are just estimates. One of the elements is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative. The beach, the summer, coconut palm, the tree, the white sand, the blue water, highlights apartment, luxury apartment, people goes on holiday, the mountain. The given image gives information about the beach holiday. It is a very beautiful image and I have to speak for 40 seconds about this image. There are different elements in the image, which are blue water, clear water, white sand, holidays. People go for holidays in the beach. Australia, summer holidays, coconut palm, coconut tree, people lay down on the sea, on the beach, highlights apartment, luxury apartment, and people have to go for holidays when they work so much. One of the elements is maximum and the other is minimum. To conclude, the image is very informative.
But for these things that we actually do really care about and do experience profound regret around, what does that experience feel like? Well, we all know the short answer, right? It feels terrible. Regret feels awful. But it turns out that regret feels awful in 4 very specific and consistent ways. So the first consistent component of regret is basically denial. When I went home that night after getting my tattoo, I basically stayed up all night, and for the first several hours there was exactly one thought in my head, and the thought was, make it go away. This is an unbelievably primitive emotional response. I mean, it's right up there with, I want my mommy. And we're not trying to solve the problem. We're not trying to understand how the problem came about. We just want it to vanish. The second characteristic component of regret is a sense of bewilderment. So the other thing I thought about there in my bedroom that night was, how could I have done that? What was I thinking? It's this real sense of alienation from the part of us that made a decision we regret. We can't identify with that part. We don't understand that part. And we certainly don't have any empathy for that part, which explains the third consistent component of regret, which is an intense desire to punish ourselves. That's why in the face of our regrets, the thing we consistently say is, I could have kicked myself. The fourth component here is that regret is what psychologists call perseverative. To perseverate means to focus obsessively and repeatedly on the exact same thing. Now, the effect of perseveration is to basically take these first 3 components of regret and put them on an infinite loop. So it's not that I sat there in my bedroom that night thinking, make it go away. It's that I sat there and I thought, make it go away, make it go away, make it go away, make it go away. So if you look at the psychological literature, these are the 4 consistent defining components of regret.
Experience profound regret. Know the short answer. 4 very specific ways. Getting my tattoo, make it go away. Regret was the main topic of the lecture. He talked about experience profound regret. Know the short answer. 4 very specific ways. Regret is basically denial. Getting my tattoo, make it go away, make it go away. I want my mommy. Not trying to understand, want it to vanish. How could I have done that? How could I have done that? And also understand that part. And also we don't understand that part. And also desire to punish ourselves. Psychologists call the exact same thing an infinite loop. And also make it go away, make it go away, make it go away. And also components of regret.
What is the part that is inside a nut's or a seed's shell?
Seed shell, kernel, kernel, kernel.
What do we call a student who works for a period of time at a job to get experience?
Intern, intern, intern.
Which device allows us to see very tiny things like bacteria?
Microscope, microscope, microscope.
What do we call the subject related to financial considerations?
economics, 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 economics,
What do you call a device, operated by the foot, for controlling the speed of cars?
accelerator, accelerator, accelerator,
What do we call the money that you regularly pay to the landlord?
the rent, the rent, rent, rental, rental, the rental, the rent. So this is my score report after submitting my speaking section test 36B. It took about 15 minutes and here is the result. I got speaking 88, which is unexpected because as you might notice when I perform my mock test, I did some mistakes, especially in read aloud, I think. But I just want to share with you that you don't need to worry when you make mistake. Just chill, just don't panic, and then move on to the next question. It's okay. It doesn't matter that you make mistake. Don't try to correct yourself. Just move on. Forget about it and then move on. Because in Pte academic exam, they allow you to make some mistake. They don't expect us to be like 100% perfect. Just have a look here. You see that the total score 100%, and then you see it's not like just 90. The score is roughly around 94.5, and then when you click here you can see that in the real exam the full score of Pte is slightly higher than 90. So but in display your score will be shown as 90 if you get 90 or higher, and then your score will be shown as 10 if you get 10 or lower than 10. I just want to share with you that we can make some mistake. Everyone can make mistake, but when we make mistake, don't panic. Move on to the next question that are waiting for us. And okay, let's have a look the details, the analysis here. So you see that read aloud is the most important task in speaking section because it contributes to your speaking score 33%. And you can see my correctness is 99%. That's why I get like speaking score 88. And repeat sentence is the second most important task in speaking because it contributes to your speaking score 30%. So if you follow my channel, you might hear I talk a lot about the big four in Pte exam, which are read aloud, repeat sentence, reading and writing fill the blanks, and write from dictation. So now you can see that these are the 4 tasks that you have to practice a lot and you have to perform well, when you got your real exam, like in your exam day. Because if you do that, you are going to get your desirable score. And going back to read aloud, so I just want to share with you that read aloud is the most important task in speaking because it contributes to your speaking score 33% and also it contributes to your reading score. That's why you can see that I got 25 in reading just by doing read aloud question. For read aloud, you have to focus on the 3 main criteria, which are the content, pronunciation, and fluency. How to improve your read aloud when you try to practice on Apeuni? Like a lot of people ask me this question in my inbox. Like I just stuck at 40, 45, 50. How to improve read aloud question? I would recommend you to try to listen something in English. You can try to listen podcast or just watch YouTube or whatever you like, try to find something that you're interested in, because if you listen to something that you don't like, you are going to get bored easily. I mention a lot in my videos, like on my channel, I like to practice from BBC 6 Minutes English because one topic lasts only 6. So I just feel like, so I just plan to myself, every day I'm going to try to listen 5 topics. So it's going to last only half an hour, So it's very easy to do. It's something that I commit to myself and then I have to do it. You don't need to listen to BBC 6 Minute English if you don't like British accent. If you like American accent or whatever you like, try to find something to listen. Try to find something to practice your listening skill first. Why? Because when you listen to native English speakers, you are going to hear the correct pronunciation that they pronounce like daily, and you try to copy them. Think about when you were young, when you were a baby, when we try to speak our first words like papa, mama, or mom, or whatever. We listen to our parents or our grandparents, and we try to copy them, and we try to speak like them. So my point is, try to listen first, practice your listening skill first, and then you are going to improve your speaking skill as well. Now move on to repeat sentence. This is very important, so listen to me carefully. For the real test and Apeuni algorithm, the system, they are totally different. As you can see that in my mock test, I try to speak a lot of content, because I know that in apeuni.com, in this application, if I speak less content, let's say I speak 50 to 60% of the content for repeat sentence, I'm going to get low score here. But in your real exam or in the official mock test from Pearson, you just need to aim at 50 to 60% of content. It's more than enough. It's more than enough, because I did that in my real exam and in the official mock test, and I got very, very good score. I'm going to show you like next time, maybe next week. But here, I just want to share with you that Apeuni requires you to speak a lot of content for repeat sentence. Otherwise, you are going to get low score. But for the real exam, you don't need to worry too much about the content. You have to focus on the fluency instead, if you want to get high score for your real exam. Okay? And then move on to the third task, which is describe image. I highly recommend you to use the template. You can use my template if you like to, and then you can try to fill the keywords that you see on the screen or something that you can think about, and again, try to speak clearly, naturally, and like focus on the fluency, and you are going to be fine for describe image. The fourth task is Retell lecture. So you have to listen to the audio and take some notes. And after 10 seconds, you have to be able to speak. You have to be able to retell the lecture that you have just listened. I highly recommend you to try to take the small phrases, the short sentences, instead of the keywords. Because this day, 2023, a lot of people said that when they do retell lecture and then they just speak the keywords, they get low score. So a lot of tutors, they recommend their students to take some short sentences or phrases instead of keywords. And my recommendation is, when you listen, don't write. And when you write down something, don't listen, because otherwise you're gonna mess a lot of things up. And the last task is answer short question. I never ever practiced this task. You don't need to worry too much. You can speak the answer, you can say the answer if you know. But if you don't panic. Try to say something. Try to repeat the keyword that you hear, repeat the keyword from the question that you hear from the audio, or otherwise you can say something. Don't leave it blank, don't leave it empty. After the beep sound, try to say something. If you know the answer, just speak it. As you can see, as you can hear, that I speak my answer many times, because sometimes if I don't feel confident about my pronunciation, I just speak it, I just repeat it, because I think the algorithm just going to capture the correct answer and just give you the score if you say the correct answer. But don't worry if you don't know the answer. Try to say something. Don't practice answer short question. it's not answer short question that going to give you 65 plus, 50 plus, or 79 plus. 79 plus. What I want to say is that you have to focus on read around, repeat sentence, a little bit of describe image, and retell lecture. That's it. So that was it for this video, speaking section test 36B. If you need any help or if you still have any other questions, you can leave them down below here and I will try to get back to you and I will try to answer your question as soon as possible. See you in the next video. Bye bye.